Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to welcome those who are new here and those who are old, have been watching my previous videos. I want to thank you all, and for those who are new here on this platform, I want to welcome you specifically, and I want to urge you that you should watch, listen, and if you have any comments, please don't forget to put them down below, or questions as well. And I appreciate you all if you watch at the end, you subscribe, you share, you like the video if you love the content. All right, we'll jump right into why the video for today. So we are into some weeks, we are already some weeks gone into 2022, and I want to tell us some of the things that we should really avoid to do this year. There are things that most times we are tempted to do them, most often we do them, and we don't know how they affect us. Specifically or personally, I have also found myself doing them as well, but they are not great, they are not good, especially in your journey to wherever you're going, whatever you're doing in life. You should try as much as possible to avoid doing these things to yourself. So the very first thing you should avoid doing is to criticize yourself. Already, as we journey through life, we already have people like that are already criticizing us, so you don't want to be one of the people that will criticize your own self. The person you are going to remain with throughout your life till you die, it's yourself. So you cannot afford to be your own self, to be your self's enemy. How do they put this? Okay, you can't afford to be yourselves, yeah, your own self's enemy. You can't afford it. So you need to try as much as possible not to criticize yourself, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance. When going through life, we encounter a lot of things, ups and downs, and it's very, very obvious and true that in our down times we turn and we criticize ourselves mostly in our down times. When we have not done things the right way, yeah, you did not do something the right way. Perhaps you had to perform in a presentation, maybe in a gathering or something, and you didn't do it well. Yes, but it doesn't call for you to criticize yourself. No, it doesn't call for you to start talking down on yourself, that I did this very bad, I'm not a good speaker, I'm not good at this. No, instead you should tell yourself the reverse. You should tell yourself, oh, at least you tried. I tried, I did it the best I could. Yes, I did it the best I could. And just encourage yourself, motivate yourself, and tell yourself you will do better next time, instead of doing the opposite, criticizing yourself and going down to sob about it, and like you can't go on with your lives, your daily activities, because you're criticizing yourself. So this year, as much as you have your plans written down, as much as you have your desires, your dreams, and you start working on them, what you need to do is avoid criticizing yourself in any area, that's in any area or path you've chosen for yourself. If it doesn't succeed, if you don't do it well, thank God. All right, you have tried. You've done the best you could, especially if you've tried, you've studied hard, you've studied for whatever you were doing, you were presenting, you did your best, and at the end of the day, it still didn't work well, or it still didn't go down well. It doesn't suffice, it doesn't call for criticism. You did your best, and that's the best you could. So especially if you had worked hard, especially if you had prepared for that particular thing, you shouldn't criticize yourself. That's what I want you to have in mind as you go through 2022. One of the things you should not do, you should try. Most times we fall into this temptation of criticizing ourselves, I bet you, and sometimes I do that as well. But you, when those thoughts come, what you should do is talk to yourself. No, I won't entertain this talk, I won't engage in it. I'm not going to engage in telling myself that I'm not good enough, I did not do this enough, I am very bad at doing this. No, I'm not going to engage in that talk. Instead, I'm going to encourage myself, I'm going to motivate myself to do better next time. So this is what I want us to do this year as we journey to 2022. The very, very second thing I want us to do, I want us not to do this year, is to compare ourselves with others. You shouldn't compare yourself with other people. That's one thing we fall into again as individuals, as we journey through life. These are things we see ourselves falling into. They are not like we intentionally do them, we just find ourselves comparing ourselves with another person. Oh, by now I thought that maybe I should have gotten my own business. By now I should have already gotten my degree, my BSc, my master's degree, my PhD, and a lot of things. By now I should have gotten married. By now I should have had kids. We find ourselves doing these things, and really I don't blame us, because there are things that we really, really desire we could or we should have had by that time, but it didn't work that way. And you shouldn't compare yourself. Everyone in life have their own journey. God has made us different. God has different plans for all of us. The Bible says that before he created us in our mother's womb, he knew us. He knew the plans he had for us. And the plans he has for us are plans of good and not of evil. Plans to take us to an expected end. So God has already instilled what he wants to happen in our lives. He already has that planned out. So whatever you are comparing is really going to be of no use at that moment. Really, sometimes we should really look at it this way, like, okay, what will it help you in comparing yourself with another person? How is it going to help you at that moment? It's just going to help increase the pain, increase the depression, increase whatever you're going through. It's just going to help, in fact, cause you more pain and cause you more sorrow. That's just what is going to help you do. Comparing yourself with another person is of no use, and it's of no good to yourself. So we should try as much as possible to not to do this in 2022. Take up your own journey, take up your own plans, your own desire, and walk with it. Keep going. Try doing the little steps every day. Don't minimize your little beginnings. The Bible says that don't minimize your little beginnings. Every little step you want to take every day to achieve that dream, to achieve that business, to achieve that academic position. You should keep doing that little step every day. At least you should do something that is going to help you achieve that goal. Try doing something every day, and don't compare yourself with another person. It's going to be of no use to you. Focus on your own journey. Focus on your own self. Who you should be comparing yourself with is yourself. Am I better than the person I was yesterday? Am I better? Am I improving? Am I being on the same spot? The problem is where the problem lies if you are on the same spot. If you're realizing that where you were last year is the same place you are this year, then there is an issue. But if you are realizing that you have taken a step further, then there is no issue. You should be comparing yourself. You should be what you should be comparing yourself with is your previous self. It's your old self. It's where you were last year. It's where you were yesterday. It's where you were some hours ago. Like, is there a progression? Are you taking steps further? Are you going ahead instead of are you going ahead? Yes. You shouldn't be going behind. If you're taking steps ahead, if you're going further, then you're on the right path. You're on the right path, on the right journey. So the second thing you shouldn't do this year, or should try as much as possible not doing this year, is comparing yourself with another person. All right. And the very, very last thing, I have 3 things for us today. So the first thing I talked about was criticizing yourself. The second thing is comparing yourself with another person. It won't help you as well. It's going to do you no good. And the very, very last thing you shouldn't do this year is down talk yourself. I think this down talk yourself is a little bit similar with criticizing yourself. Down talk yourself has to do with I'm not good enough. It's still the same thing there, but just a little bit different. Criticizing yourself is when maybe you're supposed to do a presentation and you didn't do it well. You start criticizing yourself. Oh, I did not do it well. But down talk yourself, I mean, you say you are not good for this job. You downgrade your own self. Like, you are not beautiful enough. You are not bold enough. If I was tall, if I was tall enough, I would have been able to fit in this business. I would have been able to fit in this job. I am not fluent enough. Maybe if I was fluent enough, people will love me more. Don't do this. Don't do that this year. Avoid down talking yourself. Whatever God has bestowed in you is enough for your journey. It's enough for where He's taking you to. It's enough for your purpose. It's enough for that job. You get whatever God has instilled in you, every gift that you have within you. Search yourself. Everyone was born with a purpose, with a talent, with a gift. Whatever it is, you are enough. You are enough. I cannot emphasize this. I cannot overemphasize this. You are enough for that purpose, for that vision that God has given you, for that job. Maybe if you were another person, you wouldn't have that. If you're trying to be another person, you can't fit into what that purpose God has made you for, that purpose God created you for. You can't fit in for that. There's this renowned person I listened to. He was talking about his dad pastoring a church. His dad is of late, so he was trying to compare how his dad pastored the church so energetically. His dad was so bold. His dad was so, he felt like his personality was so different from his dad. So when his dad was off late, he was supposed to take over the church, and he was downgrading himself. He was down talking himself that he doesn't fit into that position. He thought that he wasn't fit to really pastor the church. He was like, he's a more quiet person. He was so different from his dad, and he's so he's an introvert. He's an introvert person, and he likes being, most times he enjoys being like by himself at home and all that. So he felt he did not have his dad's characteristics, but he did not know that God has given everything that needs to carry on that assignment. God has given to him. That personality he's thinking that is not fit for the position is what is even more, it's more fit for the position than what he thinks. You get? So today he is one of the biggest preachers in the whole world. and you know, he gives testimonies that he talked about how even ministers and people of high caliber listen to his messages. He talked about the fact that even the people of high caliber, the ministers and whoever are listening to his messages. They said that they don't listen to messages, they normally don't listen to preachers, but they started listening to him. Like, they were moved to listen to his messages, and they follow him up, like they follow his preachings, and they are so inspiring, they are so motivating, they are so encouraging. So that is what I want to tell you today. Whatever personality you have that you think it doesn't fit into that position you want to, into that position you aspire to be in, whatever personality you have that you think doesn't fit that dream job, that you think doesn't fit whatever you want to be, that personality is the perfect personality that fits in. That talent is the perfect talent, that gift, whatever you are having, I want to repeat it again, whatever you have in you, God has given it to you, and it totally fits into whatever he wants you to be. He has given you everything you need to make it in life. So don't down talk yourself. Don't down talk yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. All right, don't do it to yourself. You already have life alone. Is a lot of people who are going to down talk you, so you don't need to add to down talking your own self. You don't need to add to it. You need to be your biggest cheerleader, your number one fan. You are the one. You need to be your number one fan. If nobody is cheering you up, you cheer yourself up. If nobody is being your number one fan, be your own number one fan. Talk great about yourself. Love yourself, cheer yourself up. God has given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. You are a princess, you are a prince, you are a holy nation. You know what God has said about you in the Bible. If you know what God has said about you in his word and the plans he has for you, you will not down talk yourself. You will not look down on yourself. If you know where God places you, you will not look down on yourself. So I just thought it wise to make this video to encourage us out there, that as you go through 2022, these things might come up, but you shouldn't engage yourself into them. You shouldn't fall for them. You shouldn't criticize yourself. It will definitely come up, but don't fall for it. When the thought comes up, when that thought comes up, you should say the opposite. Say, I'm not going to criticize myself. I'm going to encourage myself. I'm going to motivate myself. I am not. Talk to yourself positive about it. Be positive at that moment. Just be positive to yourself. You get, times will come where you will be tempted to compare yourself with another person. Oh, see where I am today. I haven't been able to achieve that goal that I've been working on since 2021. I'm still working on it in 2022. Don't compare yourself. You never can tell what God has installed for you. You know, there's something I believe in. The Bible says everything works for good to them that loves God and are called according to his purpose. That is very true. Everything is working for your good. Yes, what you started in 2021 might not have been accomplished that year. It is working for your good. Everyone has their own journey. Don't compare yourself with another person. All right, don't compare. Don't fall into that temptation, because you never might know what that other person is even fighting with. You know that everybody has what they are fighting within themselves. So that person you're even looking at and you're comparing yourself to might even be looking at you and even wishing that he or she might be looking at you and wanting to be like you, and you that you're looking at that person and wanting to be like that person. That's just the irony of life. So don't compare yourself with another person. Don't fall into that temptation. And lastly, don't down talk yourself. I cannot overemphasize this. You know, these things I've listed have negative effects on oneself. It has negative effect. It will only bring you down. It will only keep you in on one spot. You might be on that spot even for weeks, and you will not realize that you're not doing anything. Maybe if you were up and doing those days that week, you should have accomplished something, but because you are downcasted, because you criticize yourself, you down talk to yourself, and you're feeling down, you won't accomplish some things you should have. Maybe that would have helped you reach a goal or a purpose, or accomplish, maybe would have helped you go far, you know. So when you do those things, they instead affect you negatively. All right, so try as much as possible to avoid doing these things, these 3 things I listed to yourself this year, and see how far you go with all of your plans this year. Thank you very much for listening to my YouTube channel, or listening to me. And please, if you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, put down your own opinions, your own questions if you have, and let's interact in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe, so that whenever I upload any other videos, you will be notified. And put on your notification bell, please, as well. You will get a notification of any new videos I upload. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video. Bye.